Welcome to Cape Fear Business Roundtable. I'm Frank Williams, and our guest today is Alexandra Lysik. I'm Alexandra. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Frank.
And before we get into talking with Alexandra, I do want to mention our two sponsors, which are two brand building partners under one roof here in Leland. One is Pioneer Strategies, and Pioneer Strategies can help you with brand strategy, communication, website development, social media marketing, digital advertising, graphic design. So give them a call if you need help with any of those. The other sister company is Pioneer Specialties, a promotional products company that has access to over 1 million products from 4,300 suppliers worldwide. And what that means is they can help you find products you don't even know to look for, and they'll manage the entire process so that you can focus on running your business instead of searching for promotional products. And those websites are pioneerstrategies.com and pioneerspecialties.promo. And now that we've gotten that out of the way, Alexandra, welcome, and we appreciate you joining us. And Alexandra is the owner of Cavik Insurance, and I admire anybody who is successful in insurance because I did it when I was younger and I was not very good at it. It's a good business for the right people, but it's not an easy business. It's a challenging business, and I saw a lot of people in my insurance license classes that I was kind of happy did not pass because I don't wanted them talking about a product that's so important that could help, could affect your livelihood. But we'll get into that in a minute. I like to start out with some personal questions.
Yeah.
Obviously, we are in a fast-growing part of North Carolina and the United States. I mean, people are moving here every day. So are you originally from here? And if not, where did you come from and how did you get here?
So I am not originally from North Carolina. If you may have not noticed, I have a deep southern accent. I'm from Alabama. I
Okay.
grew up in the state of Alabama. Roll Tide. If you know me at all, go
Not
Alabama.
War Eagle.
Oh, not War Eagle, Roll Tide. I got here in 2006. I ended up graduating from UNCW
Okay.
with a political science degree, and then I have a minor in Asian studies. And then I went to get my master's degree from UNCW. So I've been here ever since, basically.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Where in Alabama did you grow up?
All over the state. My dad has a chemical engineer degree.
Okay.
So I lived in Mobile, Montgomery, Tuscaloosa, Phoenix City, kind of all over the state of Alabama.
I've been to Mobile and Tuscaloosa, and I think that's about it. And I've
Yeah.
been along the coast. But well,
Yeah.
obviously, there are lots of things to do in southeastern North Carolina. So when you're not working, what is your favorite thing to do, or place to go, or place to eat in southeastern North Carolina? That's kind of your getaway thing.
I think I have a pretty generic answer for where we live. You'll find me on a beach somewhere on a Saturday. I just recently bought a pontoon boat.
Oh,
I,
cool.
I know. I'm super excited. It's awesome. It's like having a Cadillac on the water, and I have three dogs, so I could put them all on the boat, and we just kind of ride around on a Saturday and kind of look for some beach and clear water, and that's what you'll find me doing on most
That is
beautiful
a
weekends.
good thing to do in this part of the state. It
Yeah.
certainly is. And well, tell us a little bit about your career journey and how you
Sure.
where you started out and how you ended up as the owner of your own agency.
Absolutely. Like I mentioned, I have a master's in public administration. So when I was getting my master's degree, I ended up getting a job in risk management at New Hanover County. So I actually started in public entity commercial
Okay.
insurance. It's a little bit different than most people, but I ended up loving it. Because I have a law background. Insurance is very similar. It's very policy driven, contract driven, form driven. So it was a really good transition for me from wanting to be an attorney to going into insurance. And then as I was after I graduated, I worked for the county, and then I ended up going from public entity over to the private sector. So I had a couple great mentors in town, Thomas Murphy, as well as David Ager. One owns a State Farm agency here, and one owns an Allstate agency. Both mentored me for about 6 years, and they were just incredible to learn from. And then I had an opportunity to open Cavik Insurance with my mom about 8 years ago. We turned 8 years old this month, so we're very
I
excited.
remember when you opened it, and that's hard to believe that it's been
Really?
8 years already.
Oh my gosh, it's been in Wilmington. Time kind of flies when you're
Absolutely.
because we were in the networking realm for so long that we kind of have ran across each other over the years.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
we met. It was probably 10 years ago at least, maybe 12. It was before you were at before you started Cavik.
it was when I had my Sunshine Adventures.
Yeah, that's been a while. And I had
That's been a while.
the
Yeah.
young guy who was interning for me then, who I think met you at a networking event, is now working somewhere in Iowa or Montana for the U.S. Forest Service or something. So it's been a while.
It's been a while. Things have changed. But we ended up, so I were 8 years old, and then my mom retired in 2022, and I bought her out. So
Okay.
so I've been running the company for the last 3 years as the sole owner.
Well, and tell us, are you guys primarily P&C, or do you do life and health as well, or what's your focus, and who do you typically want to work with?
Only property and casualty, no
Okay.
life, no health. We have great referral partners that we work with that can help our clients who need those services, but we don't personally offer them. What we try to do is take small business owners who have a lot of insurance. Think about Wilmington. It is flush with entrepreneurs who have multiple businesses. We're trying to consolidate their policies under one agency because we do both personal lines and commercial lines. So we're able to consolidate and provide more of a risk manager advisor versus just an insurance agency. We're not wanting to be an order taker. We want to actually advise you on the risk that you may have and hopefully get you the right insurance to protect what you have.
That's a similar way that we approach promotional products, because 4imprint can take orders, but they can't help you decide what's the right product for your client. And so
Exactly.
with our promotional products company, we try to be an advisor and almost an account manager. So I like the way you're approaching that. It's almost a thought leadership and consultation role as opposed to just selling a policy to whoever needs a policy.
Absolutely. One of the services that we actually provide is an account manager. So when you come as a new business owner or your new business client to us, the new business team will help you, but then we're also going to reach out to you at your renewal. So we're going to reach out 30 to 45 days ahead and help you walk through that process as well as reshop you if you've had over a 10% rate increase or we found a new carrier that you might be eligible for. So we
And I,
really try to walk you through every piece of it as well.
I think that's an excellent approach, because one thing I've seen here, and I'd love to hear if you guys have encountered it. Obviously, Brunswick and New Hanover County have had property revaluations, and home values have gone through the roof. And I wonder how many people had enough insurance that now don't have enough insurance, even though their insurance is the same, because their value went up so much.
So I do remind people that when you're looking at your property valuation, you have to remember that includes the value of the land, and we
Right.
don't insure land. So what we do is we complete a replacement cost estimator to actually insure you based on the details of your home. So we'll run that replacement cost estimator, Frank, and email that to you, have you review it, so we know exactly what the dwelling replacement cost is, so we can insure that properly.
And I would hope that people think about that when they get their reval notices, because obviously the land goes up, but so does the home value to a degree. And
Absolutely.
I had to increase my insurance a couple of years ago because we suddenly were underinsured.
Yeah, and that's why
So,
we run that. So we have that documentation. So we have the reasoning for if there's ever a claim, why we insured it at what we did.
was there anything else that you want people to know about Cavik Insurance, or why they should call you as opposed to calling another agency? I'm sure you've got that down pat.
I definitely do. Absolutely. I think it's their customer service. Again, going back to that account manager, that advisor role. We're not here to just be order takers. We're not here to just sell you a policy. We want to have the conversation with you. What do you need? What is your risk? What is your worry? What are you concerned about in your daily lives and protecting these assets? And what are things that people have not told you about insurance? Those little details can really matter, and we just want to make sure that you're getting that as a full review from our agency. And then another service that we add, just to kind of one last cherry on top, is our VIP program. So if you are one of those business owners who has a lot of insurance and you need a really detailed account manager, it's called our VIP program, where we put everything onto an Excel and a binder for you and present that to you. So as your policies renew, you keep an updated version of everything going on with your insurance account.
And that's it's so easy to not know where all your policies are when you need them. If you've got them
Absolutely.
different, it can be a lot to keep up with. And I've dealt with people. Now, obviously, this was life and health, but they were dealing with someone's estate, and they had no idea what that person had or where to find it.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
well, you've obviously got a passion for what you do. I mean, tell us what you love about it and why you're so passionate about this.
I think I'm passionate about the clients, but as well as my staff. My clients, I've known a lot of them for a lot of years, and we are referral based only. So we're very lucky to get to help not only our clients, but their friends and their family and the community members that I engage with on the community level when networking still in our sponsorship. So I really focus on having a great relationship with our clients. We feel like you can call us, you can send us photos of things you've gotten in the mail, you can ask us questions that sometimes they say are silly, but to us, ask the question. That's what we're here for. We're here to go above and beyond to make sure that we're helping you. And then also my staff. I have the best team in Wilmington. They all truly care about the client. They truly care about each other. And they truly care about our vision, which is making sure that we are doing the best we can so our clients are protected. So I think I just enjoy everything I do all day, but those two things are really what drives me every day to run Cavik Insurance.
And having the right team is so important. People can have the word customer service on a plaque on the wall all day, but if their team doesn't deliver it, they're just empty words. And I think sounds like that's truly a passion for you. Well, this is not your only business venture, I know, because I see you on Facebook and LinkedIn. So tell us about the other things that you do.
So I do have a small travel agency. I'm a travel agent with How Far Adventures. I specialize in Disney. I've been to Disney World 40 times. So So the first question you ask a Disney travel agent is how many times they've been. I've been 40. And I'm not 40. So that's a lot. Yes, I love Disney World. I'm also Universal, so I've been to Universal as well. Sandals and couples are truly my focuses as well. So I try to focus on just a few things. But if you are planning a family vacation or a honeymoon or girls trip, any of those destinations you're interested in, call me. I will help you, and I will love it. It's fun.
And what's the website for that business?
It's howfaradventures.com, or you can reach me at Alexandra at howfaradventures.com.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, changing gears a little bit, what lessons have you learned during the course of your career that you wish you had known on day one?
Listen to those who've been doing it a while. I would say that. There's a lot of well-seasoned, well-placed people, business owners in town who want to help you. They want to see you successful, and they want to give you advice. I would have listened to more of the advice that I was given at the beginning. And then I think also remember that you never know who knows who. So
that's true.
So remember that in Wilmington, be kind to everybody. Never turn down a meeting. Never say, I don't know what this person's going to do, because giving back in Wilmington is one of the key ways that you're going to grow back. People want to help each other. They want to see you successful because someone helped them along the way. So we want to give back. And I think making sure that you're listening to what people are saying, as well as, I wish I'd done that, as well as remember that everybody is going to be someone that could be important, especially in Wilmington. We're all very well interconnected.
For a community of Wilmington, Brunswick County, Pender County that has over 500,000 people in it, the business community is a very small, relatively tight-knit community, and that is absolutely true. And it's, there's about 2 degrees of separation, not 6.
Yes, that's what I say too. 2 degrees.
It is so tight knit, and I think to me relationships are so important. And you don't make relationships by not valuing people, and I think that's so important. And going back to the advice, I mean, it's when I look back at myself when I was 25, I wish I had done more listening to advice, because when I was that age, I thought I knew a lot more than I knew.
Yes.
And it's so important. If somebody's been there and done that, they've learned. It's one thing to have theory out of a book. It's another thing to talk to that person that has been there and done that. And you can make some great friends, not just mentors, but friends, by going and seeking advice.
I don't think we have enough time to tell you all the names that have given me great advice over the years, and that I still know and still look up to, who are really great people and really want to see others be successful and have grown their businesses tremendously along. We've all done it at the same time, so it's been really lovely to be a part of that.
And I think the flip side of that is, as we get further along in our careers, don't turn people away when they call and ask for advice.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, don't ever think you're too good or too busy to give advice to somebody, because you were them one day, and now they want to get to where you are. And I've I take it as a badge of honor when people call me and ask for advice. Now you've got to be careful not to give away the farm for free if you get paid to give advice. But you can. It's one thing to give advice on running a business, and another thing to give away your service. You don't want to give away your service, but I'm more than happy, and I've got friends of mine who own other PR agencies that we bounce the ideas off of each other all the time. One of them yesterday was willing to send me a copy of their contract that they use so that we could see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Because I think the only person that can provide the service that you provide as a company, as a business owner, is you.
Exactly.
And my only competition is I want to be better tomorrow than I was today. I want to provide better service tomorrow than I am today. That's my goal.
There is enough business in this town and this community that the ones that get out there and hustle are going to do just fine without having to worry about what someone else has.
Oh, absolutely. And just so you know, for Cavik Insurance, we don't just write in Wilmington and the Southeastern. I'm licensed in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Okay. So we have clients in that entire vicinity, all over those states.
And that's good to know as well. That's important for people to know because, I've got friends all over the state, and I'm amazed at some of the people who tell me they watch or listen to this podcast that don't live here.
Absolutely.
I'm like, you must be bored because you live 5 hours away from here, but they just want to hear what's going on, so they listen, and you never know.
It's just because it's so good, Frank. They don't want to miss it.
Hopefully that's the case. Well, a similar question: if somebody who was graduating from UNCW this May came to you and asked for advice, what advice would you give somebody who was just getting out of college and starting out their career?
Never forget the power of hustle and grit and determination. Be kind, be nice, be willing to give back. Think of others before you think of yourself. And volunteer and get connected.
And I think the getting connected part, so many people these days rely on social media. They don't get out and network in person like they did. And social media is valuable, but it's no substitute for sitting down across the table from somebody or at an event and meeting them.
Yeah, and shaking their hand, saying hello. And
the hustle is so important. I think, we live more and more in a time when people want microwavable solutions.
Oh, yes.
And there's no solution for getting out, in sales terminology, shoe leather.
I'm sure you've done the days where you started off at the power breakfast at 7:30 and you ended the evening at a networking event after hours, and you've been going all day long. And you did that 3 days a week.
I've done that. And this week, I've had so many different things going on. Today is the first day I've actually been in my office at my desk.
Oh, my gosh.
Because I've been out at different things and working at other places outside of the office. But that's what gets it done. And going back to something else you said, always be better tomorrow than you were yesterday. I think that's such an important mentality, not just in business, but in life. I mean, that applies. If you're a better person today than you were yesterday, that affects you in your personal life and everywhere else as well.
Absolutely. It's always a goal. It's a drive to move forward in life and don't look past. You can't change the past, but you can move forward with a different direction.
Well, to kind of start to wrap it up with some personal questions, and I know you're a traveler. If you have a travel agency, I'm assuming you're a traveler.
Yes.
Other than Disney, what is your next vacation you're planning to do?
So I'm going to be leaving in August for 3 weeks. Wow. I'm going to, so I'm going to be fully prepared as a business owner before I go. Everybody's going to have their renewals done.
You've got a good staff.
And I've got a great staff who can handle it well. So I will be doing 6 days in Ireland, 3 days in London, and then 8 days in Scotland. Wow. I'm checking off a bucket list item. I'm going to the Highland Games in Scotland, so I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited.
Well, that sounds like fun. We'll have to do another interview when you get back and hear about that.
Oh, I'll have all kinds of stories and photos, I'm sure. Driving on the other side of the road, on the other side of the car, is going to be a story in itself.
That'll be different. I would find that very challenging adjustment. I've got so many years of just, motor skill history from doing it a certain way. It's like, how do you adjust to that? That'll be interesting.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm going to have to drive around the parking lot a little bit just to get used to it before I put myself on a road.
And then people will be honking at you wondering why you're on the wrong side.
Exactly.
Do not practice that on Highway 74.
Don't
do that. That would be bad.
This is something you have to practice only in I just, if someone is interested in getting a free quote or a review, we'd love to look at your policy. My goal is to make sure you have the right policy. So if you send me it and it looks great and it's a great premium, I'm going to tell you so. We're going to be honest with you and try to give you good advice. We're not here to sell you a policy. We're here to take on a client for life. So we want to make sure that you're taken care of properly. So we'd love to help any business owners or people who have personal lines policies with their insurance needs.
And your website is Cavik, Cavik Insurance.com, correct?
Yes, and you know our slogan, right?
I do, but I haven't had enough coffee yet.
Okay.
Before Havoc, call Cavik. Is that
Yay! Okay, good. Yes,
that
before
branding
having
works?
call Cavik, it does
I was
work.
thinking I've only had 2 cups of coffee. I'm not quite there yet, but I still remembered it, so that means it works.
Yeah, awesome. I love that. But yeah, before Havoc, call Cavik. If you need anything, let us know.
Well, Alexandra, thank you for joining us, and we appreciate you being with us today. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or your favorite app, we thank you for tuning in. If you want to follow us on your favorite app, go to CapeFearBusiness.com and you can sign up there. And we hope to see you next week. And Alexandra, thank you again.
Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone.